Well, for the first time ever, we're at the Hoch at Earlston. It's the Earlston Sevens. More on that a little bit later on. But let's start with Saturday's tournament. It was the 125th anniversary of the Gala Sevens. Welcome to Borders Rugby Roundup, and let's begin at Netherdale with the 125th anniversary of the Gala Sevens. And great start for the Borders as well. 7 of the Borders sides making it through to the quarter-finals. Well, Selkirk beat Peebles and Kelso put out host Gala, while on the other half of the draw, Melrose knocked out Jed Forest and an impressive Tynedale took the scalp of Hawick. Well, in the first semi-final, Selkirk proved to be too strong for Kelso, beating them by 36 points to 10. Melrose disposed of Tynedale pretty comfortably, racking up 26 points to their opponent's 12. And so to the final between Selkirk, who had never won the Gala Sevens in the 125-year history, and Melrose, who last won in 2000. Extended highlights of the game are available to see at the Gala Rugby television page at our website, but here's the best of the action with commentators Stuart McCulloch and Kenny Houston, and we join it midway through the first half with no score.
On the Selkirk try line, the ball shipped out to Wallace, and Wallace crashes over as a pop pass from Scott White, and first blood to Melrose. Melrose 5, it's Selkirk 0, and it's going to be Ben Mair to whip this ball out. Comes out to Hartness, he's got certainly Callum Marshall out on the outside, and it's going to be Callum Marshall who's going to go in for the try, and it's all level in this final. Melrose 5, it's Selkirk 5, 6.5 minutes gone in the first half. Selkirk 7, Melrose 5. McCormack feeds the ball out to White, comes out to James Lew, who knocks it on in front of his own post. Selkirk playing the advantage at the moment. Hartness picks up and he goes over the line, and it's now Selkirk extending their lead. Fraser Hartness, good refereeing as well, played the advantage, and John Dale goes in to clue that ball, but it's Rob Taylor and co in there. The ball's come out. Callum Marshall waiting in the middle. His ball picked up by Fraser Hartness, and Hartness is through deep into injury time in the first half, and it's going to be Fraser Hartness with his second of the final. And it's now Selkirk 19, Melrose 5. Gavin Craig then with the conversion attempt. He smacks that one over, and that now makes it Selkirk 21, Melrose 5. Well, Melrose with a lot of work to do as the referee blows for half time. Halfway line feeds out to Wallace, and this is a dream start for Melrose in the second half. You've got about 18 seconds on the clock, and Wallace touches down for Melrose. Selkirk 21, Melrose 10. Gavin Craig gets it out to Lee Jones. Jones in goes round Owen Macy, and Jones has left him for dead, and Lee Jones is away for Selkirk, and he's going to touch down, and it's Selkirk 26, it's Melrose 12. Back inside, taken on by Marshall. In front there's Ross Nixon, and Nixon going for the gap, and he's through, and Nixon could go all the way. Oh, he stops, he feeds it out to Jones. He ain't going to be caught, and Jones has been chased by Anderson, and I think that's going to seal it, and Selkirk are going to go back to the top of the Kings of the Sevens League. And now here comes Selkirk. They're inside the Melrose 22. Good work though from James King. The ball was out, and a pick up, and it's going to be Gavin Craig, and he dives over the line. A mix up in the back there by Melrose. That's going to seal it. Selkirk 36, it's Melrose 12. Selkirk are now cruising, and here comes Fraser Hartness. We're into injury time now in this final. Selkirk 38, Melrose 12. Gavin Craig's got the ball, and Gavin Craig is pinning his lugs back. Will he go in the right hand corner? He does. He touches down, and it's Selkirk 43, it's Melrose 12, and I think it's going to be all over here now. The referee looking at his watch. Great bit of
shaking hands, Stuart.
Yeah, in fact the referee's whistle goes in this final, and it's Selkirk defeat Melrose by 43 points to 12.
Definitely worth it to win the final, especially the score we won by as well, 43-12, really good.
I mean, that's a big win against Melrose, isn't it?
I mean, they've been playing well the past few weeks, they were good. Outplayed Watsonians last week at Peebles, and but we were up for it, and we took it to them, and it was good.
After the break, we find out what happened in the penultimate Kings of the Sevens tournament here at Earlston. At Earlston on Sunday, holders Watsonians and Melrose were comfortable winners in their quarter-finals, but Jed came from behind to knock out Selkirk, and Hawick beat Edinburgh Accies by a single point. In the semis, Watsonians were too strong for a young Melrose side, while Hawick got the nod over Jed Forest. And so it was Watsonians against Hawick in the final.
And it's Eddie Howe this time. Inside his own 22, a pick up and go Howe, a good offload there to Blackwood. Blackwood needs a bit of support. Senna's in support and Senna's away. We said he picked up a bit of a knock in the earlier rounds, but he's shown a good clean pair of heels. Oh, that's a great tackle there from Hogg, but Senna's just done enough to cross the line and get the opening try way down that left hand side in the corner, inside in and around their own 22. They need to pick up and go here to Hawick because they're 5 points to 0 down. Oh, that's been a loose pass and Somerville's going to be in. That was criminal there in the Hawick 22, and Somerville was in space, and I think he'd be as surprised as anybody just to latch onto that long loose pass there, and Somerville has added a further 5 points to Watsonians' lead. They could really do with the next score. They're surely going to be in the corner here. This is a great opportunity to get back into this tie, and it's that man, that speedster for Hawick, the promising youngster Stuart Hogg, who crashes over for an all-important score, because we didn't see those words that we come out with all so often when you have a team leading by 12 points to 0. The phrase "the next try is crucial" is also often going to come out of a commentator's mouth. There's a big crowd enjoying this one, and it's Eddie Howe now turning defence into attack. An opportunity for Watsonians perhaps to go with Howe and Blackwood. Has Blackwood got enough space? Has he got enough pace to go in the corner? He stops and checks, and it's Eddie Howe this time that's going to finish off the move there, and that was an excellent Watsonian score there. Some experienced Sevens players linking up well, finding space. Hawick have on one occasion in this final gifted Watsonians a scoring chance. Could Watsonians be in for another score here? They're peppering that line. I think one or two players think they have scored. They have, in fact. I think that perhaps was Graham Brown. And yet again they pick up and go, and now it's going to be, I think this is Somerville down this channel. Here he goes. Somerville's going to be in, down the wing he goes, and once again showing his pace. Didn't have the full burners on there, was able to conserve a bit of energy because he had that advantage in terms of distance on the onrushing Hawick player, taking up valuable seconds in terms of Hawick needing to get another score on the scoreboard. They're surely in now, and they deserve that because they've had many opportunities to score. They finally crossed the line, and that's the least they deserve, because that was a good phase of play from Hawick. A chance for them to add yet more misery, pile more misery onto Hawick, and yet again they do just that. Eddie Howe this time again, straight, simple, easy as you like kick from their ever reliable Kerr. The referee has seen enough, he's blown up, and the full time whistle has gone. 45 points to 12 then for Watsonians.
We felt we let ourselves down badly yesterday at Gala Sevens, so we just really want to come back here, because obviously we've put ourselves in a real fight for the King of the Sevens, so we knew we owed ourselves a performance today, and we're just delighted to get that today, to get back on the road.
Well, next week on the Borders Rugby Roundup, something very special for you, because we'll be down here at Earlston again for their big match against Walkerburn to see if they can get promotion to East League One. We'll also be at Murrayfield, of course. It's Cup Finals Day. Melrose, Peebles and Duns have all made it through, and we'll bring you highlights of the Jed Sevens. Join us then.